Welcome to Gravity Working, of course. It's a super scary Saturday sleepover, and we're back with Gots to Be More Careful from, Still More Tales for the Midnight Hour by J.B Stamper. Let's get going. Let's put Oreo back here where he's safe, and let's get this party rocking. Scott, you ready?
I'm ready.
Period. This story is called The Masked Ball.
Oh,
It was Halloween night. A full moon shone down on the mansion where a large party of people danced and laughed at the masked ball. But upstairs in the mansion, one person was not dancing or laughing. Ooh, what was she doing?
uh-huh.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
A young woman named Kate was standing alone in a small room. Holding her silvery mask and shaking hands, she stared at her face in the large framed mirror. Signs of fear and sleeplessness marked her blue eyes. Girl, why you at a party instead of being in the bed? I'll be at home in the bed sleep. Quickly, she slipped her mask back over her face and turned to the door. She would have to go back to the ball, even though somewhere in the crowd, the vampire waited for her. Oh, girl. Out in the corridor, Katie passed a man in a Roman toga and a woman dressed as Cleopatra. Like Kate, they wore masks over their face. But even without masks, Kate would have never known them. She only knew the host of the party, an old acquaintance of her father's. Girl, what you doing at that party? Kate came to the top of the wide spiral staircase that wound down from the top of the hallway of the mansion. From below, the sound of laughing and talking floated up to her. Kate put on an artificial smile and step by step started down the staircase. Girl, I would have put on a frown. I would have looked, my mouth would have been like just like this. Okay. They don't know you. They don't know what your face regularly look like. What you smiling for? You tired. I'll be in that room sleep. Halfway down, her eyes were caught by a dark figure gliding through the crowd. His black cape swirled. Wait, I'm trying to make my cape swirl. I done made my mask swirl. Ugh. His black cape swirled as he moved through the brightly colored costumes. Kate's heart skipped a beat and her knees turned to sand. It was the same man she had glimpsed earlier and ran away from. Girl, he trying to get your number, Kate, girl. Run, girl. Just tell him no. She had only seen his black clothes and his dark, shiny hair, but she knew who he was, the vampire. Kate forced herself to take another step down the stairs. Then the man turned around and looked up, staring straight at her. In one terrible second, Kate saw the two fangs curving over his red lips. She felt the strength in her legs ebb away. Then her mind went black. When she opened her eyes, the darkness had gone. Kate looked up into a masked face of a young man with blonde hair. Are you all right? He asked. She stood up straight on the staircase and remembered where she was. Many of the masked faces in the hallway were turned towards her, but the dark figure with the horrible fangs was nowhere to be seen. Girl, you're a vampire. Let me help you down the stairs, the young man said. She turned to him and smiled. He was dressed in a red braided jacket and black pants. A full mask covered his face. Thank you, she said. I must have started to faint. Girl, you fainted. It wasn't a start of faint. If you went black and you on the floor and you don't remember how you got there, you fainted. Period. That's it. Come with me, the young man said. Perhaps you need something to eat. My name is Robert, by the way. I'm Kate, she answered, feeling as though the shadow had been lifted from the evening. She walked beside the young man through the crowd of curious men staring at her. She made, or they made their way to the ballroom where a large table was filled with food. Katie tried to eat a small sandwich, but found that her appetite had disappeared. I have made a fool of myself on the staircase, she said, turning to Robert. You see, I thought I saw a vampire. Girl, you at a costume party. She paused and then said, for many nights now, I have had terrible dreams, nightmares about a vampire. Robert stopped eating and stared at her intently. What are your dreams like? He asked. Katie hesitated. She did not know how her strange story would sound to him. But he waited for her to begin. I dream that the vampire is dressed in all black, is coming to get me, she said. No matter how I try to escape him, he's always there. And I just and just as I see his fangs, I scream and wake up. As Katie finished her story, she noticed a change in Robert's eyes. They became harder and darker. Okay, girl, why they harder and darker? Suddenly, she was embarrassed. Perhaps he thought she was crazy. Yeah, Scott, if I told you I was dreaming about vampires and then I saw him at the mass ball, would you think was crazy? Would y'all think I was crazy?
Maybe.
If I was like, oh, girl, I passed out because I saw a vampire.
It sounds a little crazy, but maybe I saw him too.
Period. You better have my back for my delusions. I'm sorry, she said. I'm spoiling your evening. Can we dance? Robert took her hand and led her to the dance floor. Hey, girl, twerk on her. Soon Kate forgot about the man in the black and her nightmare. Okay, girl, he's putting the moves on you. Hey. Then, as another dance began, Kate saw a white hand reach to Robert's shoulder and tap it. May I cut in and have this dance with the young lady? He asked. Kate shrank back in terror. Ah! Ugh. It was the man in the black, the vampire, standing only inches away from her. Her eyes were drawn to his mouth. Now she could see that the fangs were made of plastic and not really, oh, girl, he ain't a vampire then. Because what vampire got fake plastic teeth in?
I don't know. Maybe he was really a vampire and put fake plastic teeth in to fool you to make you think that he's not really a vampire.
Being a fake vampire is his costume. Period. Okay, period. But she turned away quickly and gripped Robert's hand tightly in hers. I'm sorry, Robert said firmly, but she wants to stay with me. Period. Period. Robert, like, sir, your chick chose me. Period, vampire. Kate watched the black figure slip away like a cat through the crowd. That was him. That's the man I saw before, Kate said as they began to dance again. Did you see his fangs? They weren't real fangs at all, Robert said. You shouldn't be afraid of him. But I am afraid, Kate said. My dreams are so real that I'm afraid they might come true. Girl, go get on somebody's couch. I think Kate needs to get on somebody's couch. Maybe do a sleep study or something, girl, because you sound like, I don't know. Like the man got fake fangs in, ma'am. You are overexcited, Robert said. It is Halloween night. His voice sounded hard and cold to Kate, so cold that a chill ran down her spine. Girl, there's probably all that dancing. He probably got you hot and ready.
I think Robert wants to get her on the couch.
Robert might. You never know, honey. Perhaps he was becoming bored with her talk of vampires. Suddenly, Kate wanted to leave the ballroom and breathe fresh air. Please come out onto the patio with me, she said. I can't stand it in here anymore. Robert led her from the dance floor to a set of French doors that opened up into the patio. They walked into the warm night air. Kate looked up at the moon in the sky. It still shone brightly, but the shadow of a cloud bank loomed near it. Now I feel safe, she said, turning around to look back at the windows of the ballroom. Then she saw the silhouette against the window. It was the vampire staring out at her on the patio. Girl, you got this man wanting you real bad, okay? This little vampire dressed up dude wants you real bad, girl. Kate choked back a scream and ran down a flight of stairs into the garden, pulling Robert along with her. It's hard to see, she gasped as they followed a path that twisted among high bushes. I have to take my mask off. She pulled the silvery mask away from her face and looked at Robert, expecting him to take off his mask as well. But just as he stared, just but he just stared at her and then hurried down the path. Suddenly, the path ended at the edge of a lake. Kate found herself standing on a narrow wooden dock that had a rowboat tied to it. Robert gestured towards the boat. I'll take you for a ride in the moonlight. Okay, girl, he romantical, he said. Kate stepped into the rowboat. Then, before he got in, Robert unbuttoned his red braided jacket and pulled it off. Kate noticed that now he was dressed in all black. Oh, girl, this is going left real quick. He stepped into the boat, picked up the oars, and pulled the boat away from the dock. Kate sat straight up in the boat and nervously looked back at the distant lights of the mansion. In front of her, Robert lifted the heavy oars in and out of the water. This is hard work, he said. Would you hold the oars while I take my wig off? Mm-mm. Okay, Robert, get real comfortable. Kate grasped the oars with both hands and watched with curiosity as he pulled off the blonde wig, holding his mask carefully in place with his other hand. As he took the oars back, Kate noticed how the moonlight shimmered on his shiny black hair. Oh, girl. Mm, 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 mm. Why don't you take off your mask? Kate asked. It must be very uncomfortable. Robert didn't answer, but kept rowing further and further away from the shore. Kate looked up at the moonlight. It was still shining bright, but she could see the corner of the cloud banks drawing near it as in the sky. She turned back to look at Robert. His mask looked eerie in the moonlight against the darkness of his hair and clothing. Please take off that mask, Kate asked him. When we get to the middle of the lake, he answered. It will only be a few more minutes. Girl, I would have jumped off the boat. Right there, I would have got off. I would have jumped into the water and swam back. Because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Why you won't take off your mask? What do you look like under there? Is you ugly?
No.
Kate realized that her heart had begun to pound. She looked wildly around the dark lake, searching for the shoreline. Just then, the clouds passed over the moon. She could only see the shadowy figure in front of her. Suddenly, the sound of oars lapping in the water stopped. Kate heard them being dragged into the boat. Then all was quiet. Kate sat very still in the boat as the cold fingers of fear reached around her heart. In the pale light, she could see Robert's hand moving to take off his mask. Then the moon broke out of the clouds and a scream rose from deep in Kate's throat. He was ugly as hell. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not what it says. The light of the moon shone down on the face of the vampire.
Oh, no.
And glittering on his long white fangs. Ha! And they all lived happily ever after.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. She became a vampire. She became one of Anne Rice's characters, period. She's very happy, Scott. Okay, y'all. Y'all know how this thing ends. What did you guys learn from that story? Put it in the comment section. Scott, what did you learn from that story?
Beware of vampires.
Period. Bring your garlic and your cross. Bring it. Just in case, you never know. The garlic, I mean, you can season your food with, and the cross you can praise Jesus with for tomorrow, Sunday Sunday school, period. If you don't need it for a vampire.
There you go.
The lesson I learned is sometimes the person that you think is, a threat to you may not be a threat. And the person that you trust might be more of a threat to you than you think they are. Because she surely just hopped on, was dancing on, just grinding all on this man on the dance floor, just having a good old time.
Yeah.
Then he took her on that boat and showed her what time it really was. Okay, huh? Yes. So be careful who you trust. That's a lesson learned from me.
All right.
Did you have anything else, Scott?
No, that's what I got.
Okay, well, let me grab Oreo Jr. from the abyss. Okay, guys, well, we got to end this live, but we'll be back in like a few more minutes. I'm going to change up for, we got to keep on going with the interesting thing that happened at Perfect Acre Inc. But in the meantime, in between time, we hope that you guys had a great time here. Of course, as always, we enjoyed having you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other shorts, videos, lives, all that fun stuff. And with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. So from wherever we are, even in a rowboat with a vampire that we shouldn't have trusted, to wherever you guys are, peace, love, and happiness. Skinamarinky dinky dink. And we'll be back in like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Bye, y'all. Are you going to say bye, Scott?
Oh, bye. Sorry.
So rude. Bye, y'all.